Bhold is a company in making with technology, and the goal is to make functional and beautiful accessories that help you in your everyday life, and using technology as well as what's now possible, the community that it's opened up, and just like the speed of being able to make and iterate quickly on design, bringing that in to make design better. So this here is a ceramic cup. It's 3D printed and is a shape that can only be made really fully in one piece through 3D printing. And so it's functional because you can have hot espresso or coffee inside of this size. There's a larger one as well, and you won't feel the heat on the outside. And so you can see here with the shape that there are these inner walls and the outside wall that make it a really unique to 3D printing shape. And this here is a 2-in-1. So this outside piece is a hook, and it'll hang anything off the table edge. It's been reinforced to be super strong. Holds 25 pounds, but weighs almost nothing. And then this one here, it organizes and protects the cords of your earphones. These two go together so that this outside acts as a case for the inside. So it's a little compact, portable to-go organizer. These two here are pretty popular. This is a design that's acoustically optimized to amplify and improve the sound coming from your phone speakers, because normally your phone speakers are kind of flat sounding, and you always see people pop, for example, their phone into a cup or a bowl, which is where I got the idea from, but this one will make the sound a lot better. It's been through 37 versions over 6 weeks to really arrive at this design. I'm going to show the song from Glee. So you hear a much richer sound with vocals and instrumentals and bass all balanced out. Ultimaker and Bhold, we've gotten together to announce a new program which is the first of its kind, showing what we can do now with 3D printing. Our announcement is really what we're calling crowdsourced design made possible by 3D printing. What it is on Behold's side, we're going to release the 3D files for all of the prototypes for the next product and make them available to anyone with a 3D printer to download and print them and then send in feedback. And that feedback will feed into that final design and influence what it will be. And so it's a type of beta testing for physical products that we really haven't been doing to date, but is very common in the software world. I actually came into it in a not so typical way. I'm a math major, and I went to engineering schools. So I was at MIT for undergrad, and then I went to Stanford for grad school, studying math in both places. So what it is I really like solving problems at a high level, and I like thinking about theory and patterns and things like that. But I love design, and so and creative, and so I've always worked at that intersection of creative, technology, and manufacturing. So after school, I was at Google for 7 years in product marketing. And so I was at an intersection. I was working very closely with technology, but really bringing it to make it relevant in your everyday life. So then I have experience with manufacturing with the family business, working with overseas manufacturing and product design and scrappiness and just anything that needs to get done. It's a very small company, so that's where I have that experience from. And I have 1 short year in finance as well, and so I have a very mixed background. And Behold is just bringing together all of these different experiences. Queens is an area that the city of New York is pushing and backing to be the new innovation and manufacturing hub. There's a lot of support here for startups to come and work in Queens. I think there is definitely, you get more space than you would if you were in Manhattan or even in Brooklyn nowadays. And there's like a budding community, I think, here. The way that I came to find this place is really our team was going for a pickup at the Shapeways factory, which is 1 block away from here. And then on the way saw this New York Designs, NY Designs, what is it? And then it's a bunch of little names of smaller companies, and then looked into it. And what it is a city-funded incubator, design incubator for startups doing something at the intersection of, for startups doing something at the intersection of design, hardware, and software. And so it's competitive to get in. When they have an open spot, then companies will pitch, and then they select who to invite. So in that way, though, it creates a great community, and it's a good spot to be in. The big reason I've come into this and into new manufacturing, and I know that the DFM Summit is going to be about lean manufacturing, is because I do believe there's a better way to do things than we have been doing them. And this came from really when I was working with overseas manufacturing and the frustrations I ran into there. And then one day I just thought, what if we could just 3D print all of this? It would just solve for a lot of our problems, because we'll see that with labor costs rising and with a lot of those economies maturing, that we have to become more self-reliant and rely on more local manufacturing, local design, local production. And technology as well is going to be able to help us make things better, as you're seeing with what I explained with the iterative design, getting more user feedback and getting things to market faster, and having just production more accessible by smaller independent designers who can solve problems probably more quickly than a larger company can, but who to date haven't really been able to access that, because you have this large minimum order and this huge kind of obstacle to overcome.